So, on the last day of 2023, I rented a car and I drove for about 3 hours to get to a hotel in Gangneung called Pension Barawa. You can see the pictures of the hotel. It's quite rustic, but it has a beautiful location right on the beach. And the view from out the window was exactly what I wanted. I was there for the sunrise. There's a tradition, Korea celebrates the first sunrise of the new year. Many people go to the mountains or to the beach on the East Coast. So I stayed in this hotel on New Year's Eve and then walked down to the beach. It was raining when I got there. But about 7 o'clock, it cleared up and I had a nice dinner at a place called Sandy E's, owned by Choi Ho-sub, who was a one-hit wonder in the 1980s. And I slept well, and then when I got up the next morning, I was ready in a jiffy, and at 7:30 I wandered down to the beach, which already had a lot of people on it. And we were there for the sunrise. I saw a woman writing on the sand, and her husband was taking pictures, so I got the idea to copy them. I was glad for the inspiration. And then right after the sun was done rising, it started raining again. So I hopped in my car and I drove about 6 miles up the road to Odasan National Park, which is famous for fall foliage. And even though it was January 1, you can see the trees are still pretty colorful. I definitely will be back for next fall. And above the tree line, like when I had to go up over the Odasan mountain to get back onto the road headed towards Seoul. And I was treated to a winter wonderland up there. The beautiful frozen trees, snow everywhere. I just kept looking around and trying to find a place to pull over, and finally there was one place. And a bunch of cars, there were about 5 of us, pulled over to examine how beautiful the trees were. And it was a very nice way to start the new year, seeing all that beautiful nature. It took about 6 hours, 5 or 6 hours to drive back because I kept stopping whenever I could. And I managed to finally find a nice restaurant that was easy to get to when I got down from the mountain into a river valley. So I had a good breakfast at the Blue River Cafe, and it reminded me a lot of being in Montana. The river that is at the base of these mountains is quite wide, and there were lots of ski slopes on the way down, and then a lot of places to fish on the river. When I got back to Seoul, I turned in the car, and then I was invited out to dinner for the next night, or I think it was January 3rd actually, to Elephant Restaurant in Hanamdong, and it's a fancy part of town. This is a German restaurant, and we had an excellent meal. This is my neighbors that invited me to dinner. I've been cooking for them all of the first semester. There's my blueberry drink at the German place. Man, the food was delicious. It was a nice way to start the year. And then I worked at school for the rest of the week. Kind of boring, but I sure enjoyed the way it started. The year started well. I hope it did for you too.